I want to talk today about the difference between instant chemistry and chemistry that builds. Now, instant chemistry is self-explanatory. You meet someone, you feel that magical spark, and you're instantly attracted to them. It's something that everyone longs for and really likes. But there is another type of chemistry, the chemistry that builds and gets stronger. Now, a lot of couples I know who are in healthy, happy relationships for 30, 40 years, and even lots less, have said that when they first met each other, they didn't overly like each other. But as they hung around in similar social circles, they got to know each other and the chemistry and the connection grew. So I'm going to show you how you can build chemistry when you meet someone. Now, chemistry is about talking and connecting. When we connect with someone, it's like, I've just been watching Anna Green Gables. They're a kindred spirit. We feel like, they could even answer our sentences, that I understand and know us. And, it just flows so easily. Now, when we have conversations like that, we can't get enough of them. Whereas in the dating world, there's so many awkward, stilted conversations that don't tend to go anywhere, that people don't really enjoy. And that is the key to change that, to build a connection. You want to have real conversations where the person you're talking to feels heard, feels listened to, and feels understood. Now, too often in conversations, we're so focused on what we're going to say next that we're not really listening to the person. Or if they tell us their experience, we want to tell them our experience. That's not really connecting. When someone tells you their experience, really be curious and find out about their experience and ask them questions and go, I can see how that must have felt for you. Because the research says that's when a connection is formed. Oh, they heard me, they understood me, they knew who I am. That feels good, particularly for women. Now, a lot of women are really skilled at driving conversations that go where they want. I find a lot of men don't have the same skill level, but it is one that you can build and it will set you apart in the dating world, okay? So a conversation where you ask someone about something and then you build on their answer and find out more. So you ask me a question and then you listen carefully and then you ask me something else about how I answered, and even get into feelings and emotions. I could understand how that felt. People feel connected with that sort of thing, but I want you to be genuinely interested, not just doing that for the sake of it, okay? That will make a huge difference in how you build your connection. So often women tell me when they're on dates that guys will just talk at them and not connect. And they do walk away not wanting to see the guy again because there didn't feel like a connection. There was no instant chemistry. There was no connection that built. So you can absolutely make the most of building that connection by being genuine and being interested. And you really don't have to talk that much in that space. The book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he talks about you can be considered the most interesting person when you generally listen to someone. The other thing is, have things that you're interested in that you can talk about if you need to, because women want to talk to a person that has passions and interests and are interesting to talk to. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You can be someone that's out on the farm, but you can tell an interesting, funny story from where you are. If you're passionate about something, it shows in your conversation. There are 6 known things that women find attractive, and there's probably only 2 of them that you can have control over. So women find good-looking men attractive. Height they find attractive. They find status and power attractive. They also find unavailable attractive. And the final thing is personality. Now, I want to talk a little bit about unavailable. Now, the pickup artists use this all the time in some of their techniques. Now, they use it, as much as I don't like or condone what they do, they use it because it works, right? So Usually, guys, when you're interested in a girl, you go all out, you're all in, and it's too much. Like, for us as girls, that's scary, it's overwhelming. We don't really understand how you could be that into us that quick. And it's off-putting. Like, it's so off-putting, and every girl will say that. And equally, I've heard guys on the flip side say when a girl is so into them, it's so off-putting. It just doesn't feel good, okay? So rein that in to start with. Rein it in. And when these pickup artists teach these guys to, they go, the girl you're interested, show that you're not interested. Be in conversation, but don't pay her extra attention. Don't be over the top trying to win her over. You know, from girls, that often comes across as trying too hard, and it makes you look like you're not confident. But you know, you can't go the other extreme and ignore her all night. So not trying too hard is a huge key. Now, personality. You can be funny, you can go with what's uniquely yours to build on that connection. But, you know, a conversation that builds is amazing. So, you know, maybe an example, if you told me, asked me, you know, what country I've ever traveled to that's my favorite, and I could tell you, oh look, I really loved Poland, and I loved the richness of, you know, its sad history, but it's food and it's warm, friendly people, and you could build on that and kind of ask me how that experience was and why I felt it had a sad history or whatever it is. I mean, that's probably too deep and probably a bad example, but what you could do is whatever I said, you could build on it in a positive way. If you know, you could ask them what they're most looking forward to doing for the rest of the, no, that's again too much pressure. Sometimes questions, and sorry, I don't prepare my videos, so I'm talking on the go. Sometimes questions can be too much pressure and can make people think. But when you have some great questions and you build on it, then you can, you know, one example that I've used too often, and I'll use it because at least I can demonstrate it. You know, if you asked me at the beginning of the year what I was most looking forward to, I was looking forward to a trip to America where I was talking in Vegas. I was going to a course in Seattle, and I was catching up with a friend in Minnesota. Now, if I answered that way, the guy could go, oh my God, what were you most looking forward to? You give me the choice about what I was most excited about. And, you know, when we talk about what we're excited about, it makes us feel good. And it makes us feel good talking to that person. And, you know, when I'm passionate about something, I feel more connected to you. And then, you know, from there, you could have built on that question from genuinely listening rather than bringing the thing back to you. You know, and there's time in a conversation to kind of build the connection with the girl and show that she's understood, and then she will bring it back to you. But sometimes instead of building on those questions, you'll bring it back to you, and that's when people don't feel heard and they don't feel listened to. Now, what I do tell people is practice, 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 practice. Go out and practice those conversations that build with everyone and anyone, and you'll get to see what works and what doesn't. It's all about taking that end result out of it, learning the skill, so when you're in that situation, it just comes naturally. Because like any skill, we have to develop the muscle through repetition. And to get good at something, I think it's 3,000 to 5,000 repetitions. So have lots of conversation where you genuinely connect, and it needs to be genuine. Now, I want to end with a story about the German composer Mendelssohn, his great-great-grandfather Moses Mendelssohn, and his love story. Now, he was a guy who was short. He had a grotesque hunchback. Now, he was traveling and staying with a friend who had a very beautiful daughter. Now, he saw her, and as guys do, he instantly fell in love with her. He couldn't connect with her because she wouldn't talk to him. She wouldn't even look at him. She was so repulsed by him that she ignored him. Now, during the stay, they were, you know, had multiple times to connect, but she just rejected and wouldn't look at him. You know, if they were at dances, her dance card was full with all these admirers, and yeah, like, can you imagine the feeling of her not even talking or looking at him? Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys at that point would give up and go, I'm not gonna risk the rejection of being hurt like that. Well, Moses didn't give up. And a true story, he took one last opportunity before he was leaving to go home to go and talk to her. And he sits down opposite her and she still wouldn't look at him. Can you imagine how that felt? But he didn't give up. And he goes, can I ask you a question? And she said yes. And this is hundreds of years ago. Do you believe that all marriages are made in heaven? And she said, yes, I do. And he goes, well, boys, before they leave heaven, they're told who they're going to marry. And I was told that I was going to marry a beautiful hunchback. And he goes, oh no, Lord, it's hard enough. That would be tragic. It's hard enough for women. Please don't make her a hunchback. That would be too hard to go through life. Make me the hunchback. When he said that, she all of a sudden saw him in a different light. She saw beauty within him that she didn't see before. They genuinely connected and they continued to talk. And guess what? She ended up becoming his wife. Now, he didn't give up. He didn't think he was too short. He didn't think it wasn't possible for him. Now, that is a beautiful story of connection. So, it is possible to build a connection that will result in chemistry and the relationship that you want. Now, if you're struggling with knowing how, as a dating relationship coach, I can help you with that. Just reach out to me. I'd love to make things easier for you. Anyway, whatever you're doing today, I hope it puts a smile on your face. Thank you.